Thought I'd go with a little bit of the Minnesota vibe. This is Prince, by the way, Minneapolis native son. Get going here in just a little bit. I just realized I forgot to put my contacts on. Be right back. All right, I think we're about ready to get going here. And my eyeballs properly in. Game of the year, and we don't care. This song is such a pop, by the way. This is not going to be the angle for this whole thing, by the way. Look where the microphone is, for God's sakes. To a familiar spot. There we go. How's everyone doing tonight? Once more into the breach. It is the last game of the season. St. Louis has absolutely fuck all to play for. Sorry, friends, we're going to have to go away now. There we go. How's it going, everyone? All right. Jerry Hayes has the right idea tonight. Drink for City. Hashtag drink for City. Yes, we are preparing out. Wait, we got a special guest. We got a couple special guests in here. First of all, Kane, he is in Minnesota tonight. Our foreign correspondent is in the house tonight, both in the watch along and in Minnesota tonight as well. We have a few of our friends here from these watch alongs. So Kane might be popping in a little bit later on. Angus McWhorter, how's it going? Angus is modding at Nerdy Soccer Guy on YouTube. Very nice. Very nice. Congrats. But we got another special guest here. And by God, what time is it in Doncaster right now? Because this, ladies and gentlemen, is our Doncaster St. Louis City SC fan, Chal. He has rebranded his YouTube venture for Doncaster Rovers. He now is Rovers Nation or Sports Nation. Man, Chal, how's it going? Rovers till I die, all city, aren't we? Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. So I think it's 6 hours so ahead. So it's like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Is it almost 2 in the morning? Yeah, I can count. It is 2 in the morning. Chal, I think this is your first time on one of these watch-alongs, man. How's it going? Nice win for Donnie today, by the way. 2-1 in the dying embers. Joe Ironside getting the PK goal, because it's just the goals he scores. Destiny is calling, Joe. Open up our eager eyes, because he's Mr. Ironside. I'm going to get that going, by the way. I am definitely going to get that going. Sports Nation, waiting until YouTube allows me to change the name, so in a week it'll officially be known as Sports Fans Network. There we go. Thank you very much, Chal. All right. And speaking of special guests, of course, Ryan always along for these. How's it going, Ryan? And live from Parts Unknown is one of my favorite ramblers in St. Louis City SC fandom. It is producer Mason. How's it going, Mason?
I'm doing good. I am broadcasting from an undisclosed location.
Gotcha. Yeah, an undisclosed location. Because yeah, we need clothes on, so we don't disclose, you know. So last game of the year, Mason. I mean, what really is there to talk about? This is the final run out for players. There's nothing really to play for. So I mean, what are you thinking about tonight's game going into it?
I'm hoping that we get to send the season out on a high note, because it was kind of a tough year.
It indeed was. It indeed was a very tough year, and I want to say we don't have nothing to play for. We could play spoiler tonight.
Yeah,
because Minnesota's very much in the running for a playoff spot. They're in the playoffs now. They should still be in the playoffs by the time this game is done, but it is a possibility if we win, and I need to look at the scenarios again. There is a chance we could knock Minnesota out of the playoffs, or at least down to, I think, the 9th slot.
Yeah, we could Houston them and really screw up their playoff odds. Even though I don't actually, I don't have the table in front of me, and I'm not very good at math anyway. So I don't know if we can fully knock them out, but we could really screw them over.
Oh, for sure, for sure. By the way, just a quick heads up for those of you that usually watch my watch-alongs. I had a job change this week, so I am now working from home, which is glorious. It'll be great for the channel. But I had to change up my setup a little bit. So the laptop that was down here is no longer there. It needed to be moved out to make space for my new workspace. So for the game, I'm going to be looking at my main TV, which is right up here. It's not too far, but if you see my eyes like this, that means I'm watching the game. So just a little bit of a heads up there for you. Literally, my head will be up, for this game.
Heads up, 7 up, if you will.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at the lineup for today. St. Louis City, Roman Berkey is getting the start. I was having a discussion with that this week with a couple of people. Do we give Lunt another run out just to kind of help, try to have him earn that contract next year? But it is going to be Roman Berkey. What do you think about that, Mason?
I'm not surprised either way, I will say, because I think that it's probably the right decision to bring the guns out and try to get the best possible result for the last game of the year. But I could have also seen them running Lunt out to try to give him a little bit of a boost going into a contract year.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And honestly, it makes sense. I mean, Roman Berkey. I mean, he honestly, if he wants to start, he should start. I mean,
Oh
that's
yeah.
we need to give him that deference. Interesting. JT Kirsting pointing out no Indy on the bench.
Hmm. That is
David,
interesting.
I've noticed in the last couple, last couple of games, they've held players out, just like to give them a break. Like Leuven was out a couple weeks ago. Kessler, I think, could have gone a couple weeks ago, but then they held him out of that game. So I wonder if that's just, you know,
Yeah.
because Indy can't play for City too, because he hasn't played one game, and you had to have played 4 games in Next Pro to be eligible for the Next Pro playoffs.
Yeah.
So that's why you might see Jay Reed down there, which, interestingly enough, Giannis Horn is getting the start today, which isn't that interesting because I think Giannis Horn has earned the starting left back role, but Reed is on the bench. But I think Reed has cleared that 4-game threshold, like he was their regular starter at the start of the year. So could see him for City 2 tomorrow and beyond, hopefully.
It would be nice to get him into the City 2 playoffs because that's a lot of firepower to bring to bear on a MLS Next Pro team.
It is because they could have Jay Reed. I think Akil Watts has played enough to where I think he qualifies for Next Pro. I think he's played at least 4 games. And then Jake Gertwood Reich got a waiver, I guess, and he
Hmm.
will be eligible for City 2 during the
Okay.
playoffs, which I'm really curious where they slot him in because they're good at center back, and Seth Antwi's been really good at the 6 for them this year. So I'm just really curious how they work him in there.
Yeah. Uh,
Um, I'll just say rest of the back line: Giannis Horn, Joachim Nilsson, Henry Kessler. I want to see this partnership continue to blossom between Kessler and Nilsson. And a lot of people have been suggesting that maybe Nilsson gets shipped out this offseason, but I've seen so much good things between him and Kessler that I think I want Nilsson to stay now.
yeah. If Nilsson can get back and stay healthy, I don't see why we would ship him out. I was also a little bit of a Debbie Downer about him and being like, is he ever going to get better? But having him sit for an extended period of time now, it seems like he kind of has improved with his health. And that last game where him and Kessler were together, they were lights out. So
They've had 2 good games together because they were really good in the SKC match together as well.
mhm.
I mean, granted, SKC didn't start off their top lineup. I mean, Houston did. I mean, Houston wasn't playing around, and we still
Yeah.
they still did a great job. And then Totlin on the right. Akil Watts is starting at the 6. I think he has definitely earned his playing time. He's had a really good couple of months, a couple of games there, actually.
Yeah, Akil Watts has done pretty well. And also he is so obviously Hackworth's boy. So
That's true. That's true. So he might get a little bit of preference. I can see that. By the way, Hellbender, Billy Jansen in the chat. How's it going, Billy? Up the Ravados for City 2. I'd love to see it. JT pointing out that we do have something to play for, Mason. Well, get out of the relegation zone, which that isn't a problem here in America. But Kane points out we need to finish ahead of Sporting Kansas City.
yeah.
So that there is something to play for. It is not over, and Billy even pointed that out as well. Edouard Leuven getting the start in the middle, and then the front 4. I mean, this tells me that we are probably going to trot out a 4-2-2 here, which they're actually showing the lineups as we speak.
Mhm.
We have Toyshirt, Hartle, and then Betcher and Klaus. So Really curious to see Betcher and Klaus together. I think the first game that they were together, Mason, I wasn't really too hot on them, but then of course they seem to be clicking since then.
Yeah, especially that Houston game. Klaus looked a little frustrated with his performance, but Betcher was really on. And I know people have been kind of dogging on Klaus because, like, if we're paying you DP striker money, you need to put the ball in the net. But if the ball ends up in the back of the net, I don't actually much care who's doing it. And Klaus's play up there is very valuable, even if he's not actually scoring.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I mean, he adds so much, and even the analytics show what he adds. I mean, we have, if he's not scoring, we have Betcher can score. If he's not scoring, Teuscher can score. Like, I think part of the argument earlier in the season was the fact that no one was scoring. No one was scoring, and that included Klaus. Now we have players that are scoring. And it's not necessarily Klaus. And I think the other argument too, I think the other reason he gets kind of a target on his back is because he is a DP. Yeah. So with great DP status comes great responsibility, I guess.
Yeah, and like you want your DP number 9 to score goals, right? And he's not even really contributing assists, but I think that it would hold more water if he was just a lame duck out there and not facilitating really good through balls and playing good hold up play and doing good off the ball stuff. Because he's doing all of that stuff. He's doing behind the scenes stuff. He's not just standing out there.
Yeah. By the way, Ryan pointing out it was 8 p.m. and we were still getting the pre-match music on MLS Season Pass. In fact, it actually looks like they're about to go to a commercial. So those hard start times in MLS, Mason, I mean, even when they start at 8 o'clock, it's still not exactly a hard start.
Yeah, it's starting at 8.
Right, yeah. quote unquote. So we get a little extended pregame here. Just checking chat real quick. Brad Whiteside is in the house. How's it going, Brad? Good to see you.
What's up, Brad?
Actually, you know what? We were just talking about that. MLS is a bit late as usual. So you're fine, Brad. You are fine. And then on the bench for St. Louis, we got Rasmus Alm, Jake Girdwood-Reich, Kyle Hebert, Jake Nerwinski, Jaden Reed, who I met on Sunday. He was at the futsal tournament. He swung in towards the end of it, and really nice guy. And I thought it was really cool that both he and Jose Kojima showed up. Because Kojima stayed for most of the whole thing. He was probably studying us for his next paper.
Yeah, I was gonna say Kojima was taking notes.
Well, but he actually you want to talk about soccer fandom fangirl moments. Like in the second game, I played 2 games, and in the second game he walked up to me and gave me futsal positioning tips. I'm not going to share what he said just because I feel that's privileged information, and he also asked me not to share it either. But that was cool. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Also, I think I owe Kojima a Soccer Zombie jersey now, but that's a whole nother conversation we had. So,
but, oh no, how terrible!
I know, right? Shame. I'm gonna pop over to the Minnesota lineup real quick, which I get what they're trying with this format here, but it's really hard to read, and I wear contacts.
I do not like this.
No, I'm not a big fan. I mean, I do love these jerseys though, the jerseys with the stars. I got one right away.
Yes,
they're fantastic, but this lineup screen ain't it. But I guess we'll see if they change it next year. The one thing that I will note, besides the fact that this almost looks like an Italian formation, it's like a Christmas tree formation with 5 at the back and 4 midfielders. Our old friend Anthony Marcanic is on the bench for Minnesota United. Think we'll get a Marcanic cameo tonight? I would like to see it.
We're gonna get a Anthony Marcanic revenge game, and he's gonna dump 3 on us in the last 15 minutes.
That would be interesting. But by the way, speaking of revenge, did you see Aziel Jackson score today?
I did not. I missed the goal because I went out to have a cigarette right before kickoff for the Eastern Conference, and then by the time I came in, I missed 3 goals.
You have a real knack for missing great moments involving St. Louis City SC current and former players.
Yeah, it's apparently it's a talent I didn't know I had, and I wish I didn't.
So basically, what I like if sports gambling becomes legal in Missouri, and I'm watching a game with you and you disappear, I need to like bet that like we're gonna score in the next 3 minutes. Like I'm sure they got some sort of side bet for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, kind of interesting that Teemu Pukki is on the bench for them. Um, I was because like he was their star guy. I know he's a veteran. He played for Norwich before. Been with the Finnish national team for many years. I don't know if he's been hurt or what, but he has not been in the lineup lately for Minnesota.
Yeah.
It suggests injury to me with the fact that he's starting on the bench today.
Yeah. I mean, I can't rightly say that I've kept up on Minnesota, so I don't actually know. But
Yeah, we don't have a Minnesota United expert in this watch along, so we can just speculate. But all right, well, those are your lineups for this one. We are still in commercial on MLS Season Pass. It is now 8:08 p.m. Because that's how they roll. So, honestly, guys, can we just admit that tonight's game is just a warm up for City 2 tomorrow? Like this is the ramp up to the bigger game tomorrow, which is City 2. Let's just face it.
it does largely feel that way because this is kind of a nothing burger, and then City 2 still has everything to play for, basically. So,
Yeah, definitely. And I'm really curious how many people show up tomorrow, because I mean I've heard it won't be 12,000 again. It won't be a record breaker, but like it's all we got. It's all we
yeah.
got because this is it for the main roster tonight. So
Yeah, I'm hoping for a big turnout. I can't unfortunately make it, but I'm
yeah.
hoping that more people that can do.
Yep. Sean might be able to make it. He's been talking about going. So yeah, hope to see. Let me know in the chat if you guys are going to City 2 tomorrow. Maybe we can get a little bit of a group together. Alrighty, well, I think we're about ready to get going here, Mason. So
Mhm.
we'll talk to you again at halftime.
All right, I will see you.
Alrighty, man. All right, so the players are walking out as we speak. Um, yeah, Ryan, I was kind of following along a little bit around the rest of the league. No one's able to really get knocked out, so that kind of that answers the question. Like Minnesota's in, as they got a violinist playing in Minnesota tonight. Like look, the violin can be cool. You can be. They just call him a hip hop violinist. I just want to kind of sit back and listen to this. Josh Vietti, international hip hop violinist. I never knew hip hop violin was a thing, but I'm in awe. I'm in awe. That was really good, actually. That was really good. Why don't we have a hip hop violinist in St. Louis? I feel like we're missing out. And now they got a guitarist. Man, don't tell Minnesota that this game doesn't mean anything. Does anyone recognize that guy? Yep, the guitarist is playing. I'm just listening to the anthem here. Violin's very underrated. That and the fiddle, like you can make that cool. My dad told me he tried learning violin when he grew up. He just couldn't do it, but he respects those that can because apparently it's not the easiest instrument. Yeah, this kind of has Woodstock vibes, doesn't it? Yeah. Oh, Mason was a violinist. Nice, nice. But nah, yeah. Maybe the violin's making a comeback. Yeah, this has got Jimi Hendrix vibes. Wouldn't it be cool if this actually was Bill Nye the Science Guy with long hair? I mean, it's already pretty cool as it is. Although you're right, though. Yeah, he is kind of hitting the pedal a lot. It's also might be one of the longest anthems in recent memory because he's like definitely letting it play out. Like try singing along to this. There we go. All right, that's how Minnesota opens up their games. That's pretty lit. That is pretty cool. But apparently, Minnesota does not have good Wi-Fi. Kane has already been disconnected from it, cutting out a lot. So his appearance might be in jeopardy unless Minnesota gets their act together. Looks like a good supporters section there. There's some St. Louis fans. Vamos. Anyone recognize them? I know there's a few of us up there, like Aaron Leake's up there. I think Chris Gebhardt made the trek up there as well. Michael from Chat City Tactics is up there. I don't think that was Randy Cobb. I don't think he's up there. Yeah, the guitars did kind of sound a little bit like Kirk Hammett from Metallica. That's a good shout. Yeah, those Minnesota United kits are nice. Like I very rarely like bought a jersey like the second that I saw it, that like the second it was released, that Minnesota was definitely one. All right, I am going to try to be nicer about this timer behind me here, so in fact actually I'll probably move over so you can see it a bit better. I'm kind of with Mason. I just want to see us play well. I mean, this is going to be our last taste of the main roster until February. It's going to be a long winter. It is going to be such a long winter. It is 8:15, by the way. 8:15. They still have not started this thing. This stream has been going for 30 minutes, and it's just been nothing but rambling and time filling. There's more City fans. Don't recognize them either. All right. Yeah, that mascot's very haunting. Very haunting. Not a fan. Oh, if something happened in the Union Omaha game, I was too busy setting this up. I didn't actually have a chance to watch. I'll check in a bit. All right, I heard the whistle. We're going. We are going. We are live first half. And producer Mason producing the bottom ticker there. Thank you very much, Mason. And I got to see what happened in this Union Omaha game. I'm kind of curious because that's my team, the Buchholz. All right, Fat Mob. Move, Fat Mob. Okay, I'm just going to reload it. Yeah, I need to see what happened here. That's my team. Okay, I think my timer is like a splits, like maybe a half second ahead of the game for me. So I think I started like a second early. But it's better than it usually is. Let's just put it that way. So it's still 2-2. Union Omaha taking on South Georgia Tormenta. And they were down 2-0. And then Tormenta got a red. Wow. I think Omaha has already clinched the Players' Shield for League One, so I don't think that's a concern anymore. Chris Whittingham and Kendra, I didn't catch that last name. What do we think of this commentary team? I'm gonna try to listen to them more in my left ear. Oh, my arm's in the way. That's probably why. There we go. My hand's in the way. I always like to put my hand on. It's a habit. Well, this is off to a flying start. A lot of midfield passing setting up. Feels weird I'm even watching a St. Louis City game because it's been 2 weeks since the last home game. Like this international break, the way it's set up, and then we come back for the final week, it just like completely kills the momentum. Oh, trying to get it forward to Yeboah. Get there. Ref does not blow the whistle. I don't know if that was actually a foul. It didn't look like it to me. Maybe he was trying to sell it. All right, Toy Shirt settles it. Yeah, I was a little nervous. That was a little nervy there. I mean, Yeboah definitely scorched him. Yeah, I didn't think that was a foul. Musa Seka, how's it going? Welcome. Musa Seka's always smiling. Uh-oh, we got VAR. Here we go. I don't like. And you guys don't like it either. Oh, man. Did Henry Kessler get himself in trouble? I agree, Ryan. I'm not ready for this season to be done. All right, here we go. Ball forward. I mean, that's a great ball. I don't see it there. Yeah, and who said it? Kendra's usually negative on St. Louis. Well, she thinks it's a penalty. Brad is already considering harder alcohol tonight for hashtag Drink for City. Me, I'm sticking to just the standard Parker Pilsner. Still available in stores everywhere in St. Louis for some reason, even though Parker's not here anymore. But I have it wrapped up in a Schlafly koozie because I'm a rebel. Also, I can't find my Union Omaha koozie that I usually have for these. I know it's somewhere around here. I just can't find it. Musa Seka, Yeboah called the foul that led to the ball. That can't be a foul. The slide, the slide might be a little sus there, Ryan. But I just I don't see a ton of contact, but let's see. No foul. Decision stands. Yeah, I didn't think there was enough contact. I did not think there was enough contact. I feel better about that now. All right, here's what I'm going to do. Sorry, I got to cover up Jurgen. Just want to make the timer a little more easier to see for y'all. There we go. Should be able to see that a little better now. Remember, scoot in. Don't save seats. Oh no, my flag went down. That my thing was holding it up. That's fine. It's kind of standing up there. It's fine. Number 9 jumped into space. Brad is going with water. Because it was no foul. Let's go. Yeah, I do think I don't think I don't think it was enough contact. They both went to the ground. I mean, there wasn't and Billy thinks it could have been an argument either way. I just didn't see enough contact from Kessler. I mean, I think Yeboah went down same as Kessler. Kessler didn't like drag him down or anything like that. It wasn't really like a strong tackle on his ankles and feet. So, but as Mason says, if you ain't rubbing, you ain't racing. Boogity, boogity, boogity. All right. As my FOT mob just updated the South Georgia Tormenta and Union Omaha game, apparently South Georgia just got another red card. So it's all popping off tonight in Southern Georgia. But here in Minnesota, Minnesota's got a counter. Yeboah tries to shake Totlin. Totlin, good D. And that's going to force a corner. Yeah, Yeboah looks very solid for them. Honestly, he maybe is much of a reason that Pukki isn't playing as much as anything else. I mean, he looks good. David Cotton doing the MLS 369. How's it going, David? Our West Coaster. So we got California in the chat, and we got Doncaster in the chat with Chal hanging around. Although I haven't heard from him in a bit, he may have passed out. Chal, are you still conscious? It's 2 a.m. over there. It's 2:24 a.m. over there in Donnie. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch these highlights on the Omaha game too. It sounds really wild. Little preoccupied at the moment though, just a tad. Oh, by the way, Chal, Chal, chime in. Let me know if you're still here. By the way, because I got something to show you. You might see it already, but I got something to show you. Yeah, tough one for West Ham today, David. Losing 4-1 to Spurs. That was a rough one. That was a rough one today. I tell you how Liverpool did today, but they didn't play today. They play tomorrow against the Fighting Todd Bowleys at Chelsea. Robin Lod, he's been around a bit, hadn't he? Oh, good step in. But they get it right back and wins the throw. By the way, if you're watching along tonight, whether you're new, whether you have been here before, go ahead and hit that like button. Actually, I think it goes this way. This one right here, the one that is shaped like this, just go ahead and give that a click. Give that a click. That helps get this out to more people. More people like you. Yeah, this has been a lot of defending on our end, Billy. I have to agree with you on that. But I mean, I haven't seen Minnesota have a real good chance yet either. Like Berkey has not been tested yet, so I'm still hopeful, as this channel is supported by viewers like you. Because you can do anything. He's in the book. I screwed that up. Send him home now. And I swear, this is my first beer. I am drink for city tonight, but this is the first one. Oh, Union Omaha scores. Let's go.
A place in the Champions League final. The headline has been written.
Viva Bujos. Viva Bujos. Okay, that was your Union Omaha update. Probably the last one for tonight until it goes final. Yeah, both sides look rusted. Yeah, it almost looks like a game that neither team has played in 2 weeks. Funny that. More MLS scheduling congestion. Like what they should end the season that first weekend of October, go on the international break and then come back for the playoffs. If anything. Yeah, how could that have happened? Jeez. But then if they ended the season on October 5th, then we'd have to hear Don Garber cry about schedule congestion. And then we'll never, ever, ever, ever be back in the Open Cup, and that would make me sad. So if this is the price we have to pay for Open Cup, oh God. Ooh. I almost spoke a chance into existence. I was just saying how Minnesota hasn't really had a great chance so far. Yeah. Totland got absolutely just unjocked right there. There is a jock strap that belongs to a Norwegian right back on the field right now. Got his ankles broken. Yeah, David. Schedule congestion caused by... I'd have no idea. What could that possibly be? It couldn't be Leafs Cup. It couldn't be Leafs Cup. That's what the people want. And by the people, I mean, people that like having a lot of money. Aaron checking in from Minnesota. How's it going, Aaron? I might have been in Minnesota tonight myself, but I did have obligations earlier today that I could not back out of. But I do need to do an away day review of Allianz Field because that looks like a really nice field. Hopefully, either you, Aaron, or Kane can give us a full-blown review if the connection is indeed working, which I understand it might not be. Speaking of which, Aaron, I'm going to send you a link here shortly. If you want to join for halftime, if you're able to. Oh, in the ball box. Oh, no one home. No one home, but like Betcher getting in deep there. Simon says it's not goal time. Not yet. So apparently in the Union Omaha game, by the way, I need to have like the ESPN score update in Omaha tonight, there has been a third red card, but the goal still stands. So it just sounds like absolute chaos. Lower league chaos. You love to see it. That's why I like the lower league so much, because you just never know what's going to happen. And Shaw, if you're still up, which I don't think you are because I haven't heard from you in a little bit, I sent you a link to join as well. If you're still up. By the way, a lot of people I'm seeing on Twitter were not a big fan of the guitar national anthem. I thought it was kind of cool, but it definitely started to wear out its welcome a little bit as time went on. In fact, as I reflect on it, it seems to be worse. Oh, by the way, we have a celebrity update here. Or local celebrity anyway. Chris Gebhardt is sitting next to Kane. So if Kane's connection can actually work, we might get a Chris Gebhardt appearance at halftime. If Chris wants to. Chris is a little elusive. He's a little camera shy. He likes to let the other content creators cook. So which is fair. Which is totally fair. Chris, we love you. If you want to come on, great. If not, that's fine too. Mason, it was kind of cool, but just doing the Hendrix thing without any of the bite. Yeah. It lacked a little something there. Like Jerry pointed out, Woodstock, but wasn't quite that. Oh, that's a dangerous ball. That is the second time there's been a dangerous ball right in front of goal today, and they've just not been able to put a foot on it. Minnesota has. We have been getting here's another one shot. What a save by Berkey. The song says it all right there. Pause that for now. For the next Berkey gem, crossing the box, headed away. Minnesota still has it. God, this Minnesota's making me nervous. I'm now I'm with you, Billy. This Minnesota's making me nervous. It feels like there's a breakthrough coming here shortly. Maybe it should have happened already. Union Omaha has defeated South Georgia Tormenta 3-2. And Brad is done now. Brad has hey guys, it's okay. Brad's done. He's done. All right, corner kick for Minnesota. It's in the box, in swinger, headed away though. I think that was Nilsson on the head there. Ball kind of bouncing around a little bit. Rosales collects it for Minnesota. Oh, blocked by Klaus. Klaus is trying to catch the goal. He's sleeping. That's it's a good idea. Hey, St. Louis fans that are on Klaus's ass for not scoring. He just put a shot on target from like 50 feet. Happy now? Probably not. Probably not. The Klaus haters never are happy. Minnesota does have a good crowd tonight. I'm not seeing a lot of empty seats to be. I mean, there's a couple I see on the far side there, but yeah, they get really good support, to be fair. That's a place I really want to visit. And we'll get our chances because they're in the West, so I think we go there once every year anyway. But yeah, that's a nice stadium. I know, Ryan. I'm being asking Klaus haters to be reasonable. As Brad reminds me, I cannot math. Yeah, that was like more like 50 yards. You're right. 50 feet would not have been that scary. And now St. Louis has slowed the tempo here. Oh, that was a bad touch. Bad touch by Toyshirt there, but Toitland recovers. Okay, one final Union Omaha update, I promise. I guess they did clinch the Players' Shield tonight. So congrats to Union Omaha for winning the USL League One Players' Shield. Viva Bujos. Through ball. Oh, no. No. Robin, load. We're fucking shit. Who was the center back on that one that got torched by that pass? Absolutely just deplorable. Yeah, good season, guys. Brad's gonna head to the fridge right now because it is time for alcohol. So that was Nilsson. That just could not keep up with Robin Load there, or the ball. That is Joachim Nilsson's lack of foot speed at play there. When we're talking fast breaks and fast counters, that is where Nilsson fails us. I'm not putting him on my crap list yet, but and I mean I don't think he necessarily deserves it. But I'm just saying, as Chris Gebhardt reminded me like a month ago, players are in MLS because they generally have at least one or two things wrong with them. Like there's something that they can't do very well, generally speaking. And with Nilsson, it clearly is foot speed. He just does not have the speed. I mean, that was a good ball by Obo, though, to be fair. All right, let's see if we can hit them back here in the 23rd minute. We do have the ball in their zone, which is a weird sight. And we don't have the ball in their zone anymore because that was a chip pass that went to absolutely nowhere. But Klaus encouraging the passer there. It is what it is. Thank you, Mason, for updating the score ticker, by the way. Yeah, Billy, we just yeah. Yeah, it is. It is. This game's going to be a struggle, I think. I think this is going to be a little bit of a struggle here. I mean, this is the same St. Louis City team that 1 week ago drew City 2 3-3 in a scrimmage. Now, I'm not one to put much weight on scrimmages, but just saying it happened. Although I think that was more, I truly think that was more just City 2 looks good. And also, like, you know, they weren't playing like at full speed. Oh, man. So how about this weather, huh? That's about all I got to talk. I mean, I really don't feel like I don't have much to talk about tonight. I hate saying that as a watch along host, but like, I don't know. This is a game. This is a game that is being played right now, and that's all there is. There's nothing, not much sizzle to this one. But we'll get through this together. There's something I can talk about here. JT points out that we are missing Durkin tonight in more ways than one. I gotta say, let me get my hand out of the way. I gotta say that I have a newfound respect for Chris Durkin and how he tries to cover every blade of grass. Because at the futsal tournament this past Sunday with the Santos and the Punks, gotta make sure I credit them properly, by the way. Don't want to get one of them angry at me. I played for like the first time in 25 years. That was actually legit. Like that wasn't just for the video or the, you know, the stuff that you saw. Like I legit have not played competitively in 25 years. That is the God's honest truth. And it showed. And I had a natural tendency when I was out there to want to cover every bit of the court. I didn't want to be the one that was like left standing off on the other side of the field when the other team scored. I didn't want to be the one that didn't, put in a tackle or anything like that. So when Durkin is running around trying to make stuff happen, I now understand that because it's my tendency to just run around like a chicken with my head cut off. Although that could be just from the simple fact that I have no idea what I'm doing out there. But I understand Chris Durkin now. I understand him now. And yeah, Ryan, it's hard to criticize a lack of emotion when he's not showing any. That's true. Also, I'm wondering where it is from this team right now. Well, that's Cedric. That's Cedric kissed the far post. That was a good look. Good look by Cedric. Had that gone in, that would have been like an absolute lose our bleep moment. Leuven, good idea trying to get it up there, but couldn't connect. Yeah, Billy, that would have been absolutely insane. In other USL news, Indy 11, congrats to the Indy 11. They have clinched a spot in the 2024 US Championship playoffs, USL Championship playoffs, rather. Been a trying year for them. I've covered them a fair bit on my channel, but they will be competing for the USL Championship, which is noteworthy because I mentioned that I'm a Union Omaha supporter. I'll support them in League One in that playoff run. On the championship level, I have decided that I am going to back Indy 11 in the playoffs for this one. They deserve some joy this year. And outside of their now former Brickyard Battalion presidents, the Brickyard Battalion are really cool people. But yeah, idiot who shall not be named is no longer president of the Brickyard Battalion, the one that tried to say that us St. Louis fans, our supporters culture was suffering because of MLS. Just dumb. I mean, I am convinced that guy loves the taste of foot in his mouth. He just loves it. Yeah, our passing has been very, very sloppy tonight. Like that Leuven one that got intercepted. Like that was just one of many where it feels like we can't connect. And you know, Ryan, about the former Brickyard Battalion president that we're talking about here, I think most members of the Brickyard Battalion would agree with you, Ryan. Good riddance, because he was Rip Bozo. He was very damaging to them just because he has a mouth problem. Free kick in the box, cleared away. Totland gathers, gets it back to Leuven. Are we going to try it again here? Oh, that was a bad whip. And now we got a counter here. If Minnesota can get on their horses here, which it looks like they are. Crossing midfield, out wide, back, good 1-2. Totland recovers. Leuven looks off tonight. I mean, we're talking about how we're not connecting on our passes tonight. Leuven looks very off tonight. I don't like it. Yeah. Ryan, they would probably be in agreement. They may not say it publicly, but I think they would be in agreement. It was very interesting when I was there in Sporting Kansas City for their their Open Cup semifinal match, talking to some of the BYB about Bozo, and no one was ready to come out and call him a dumbass, but you can just kind of see on their faces that, like, yeah, they kind of think he's a dumbass. All right, Brad is back, and Brad hard at work making some syrup in his kitchen. He got his beer. It is a Cosmic Slop from Branch and Bone in Columbus, Ohio. A Columbus beer tonight in celebration of Aziel Jackson scoring for Columbus, perhaps. Also, it does not surprise me that Brad has reached for something with the word cosmic in it. Cosmic Slop for Cosmic Hogs. Well, this game being kind of a dud has given me a chance to monitor Twitter a little bit more than I'm used to. Though I will say there may come a day in the very near future where I'm not active on Twitter anymore. And that's all I'll say about that. That, and I'll just say Blue Sky is kind of cool. I'm on there, by the way. But yeah, there might be a bit of an exodus coming up. I mean, there already is an exodus from Twitter going on already, but I may be part of it. We'll see. Yeah, the Eastern Conference games looked a lot of fun. Mason, they were barn burners, and yeah, in the West right now we have 4 goals total, just very much of a dud. But like some of the earlier games today, like oh my God, Inter Miami went absolutely Super Saiyan on New England. Messi got a hat trick, so New England went up 2-0. I went to see the Inter Miami and New England game. New England was up 2-0 on that in Miami's home. And then Louis bags 2, Kramashi gets 1, and some Argentine guy named Messi, perhaps you've heard of him, got a hat trick in the 78th, 81st, and 89th minute as a sub, as Mason points out. That is absolutely wild. Jeremy Clements, how's it going? Sloppy and forcing out offensively as we get frustrated by Minnesota letting us play with the ball. That's still not a St. Louis thing. We don't do very well in possession, and Minnesota just kind of like Minnesota is doing the equivalent of like when an NBA center is like wide open at the 3-point line, and they're just like, "Go ahead, shoot, bro. Go, take a shot. Take a shot." That's kind of what Minnesota is doing to us tonight. I feel like they're just kind of like, "Oh, you're bad in possession? Okay, great. Here, have some possession." By the way, everyone in the chat, drop some happy birthdays for Jeremy Clement. It was his birthday yesterday, and Jeremy's one of our beloved St. Louis City SC supporters. I know, Jeremy, you've talked about wanting to get more into the fandom and all that stuff. So let's welcome. So yeah, happy everyone, get the happy birthdays in there for Jeremy. Assuming Minnesota doesn't score here, which they do not. Yabo is fast, but he's not that fast. Although he's still got the ball. Now that one could have been an argument for a PK more than the first one. Although Yabo is not really calling for it, but like that I mean, it looked like Horn got a bit of a body to him there. Oh, actually, it was Hartle on him. Okay, not a PK, not a PK, but it looked like Hartle may have had a hand on him, but he didn't really. Yep. Happy birthday, Jeremy. The balloons are popping. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Here's some birthday cake for you. Love it. Oh, Ryan, super frustrated. One of my group chats refuses to migrate to Discord. Speaking of Discord, that is, I need to invite. If you're not a part of my Discord, what are you doing with your life? Oh, header shot, and Berkey's crowded. Whew. Got to pay attention. If you're not a part of my Discord and you want to be a part of the Discord and you want to be in on a platform that is not going to farm out your content to third-party AI without your consent, and is going to make all the people you blocked be able to see your stuff again. Whoops. Don't use that link. Don't use that link. Don't use that link. When copy paste goes wrong, ignore that link. That's the link you want. Like I literally here, I'll show you. I literally clicked on copy. It said copy, and then I pasted, and it did not paste correctly. I blame Discord on that. But otherwise, Discord's a fantastic channel, and I have a server on Discord with other footy fanatics like you. Is that a hand? I mean, I think his arm was inside, so I don't think that would have been called a hand, at least on this side of the continent. Now, Doncaster, by the way, Chaw, if you're still in there, chime in. You may have passed out, though. Donnie got a penalty kick in the 94th minute off a handball in the box, and it was one of those where the defender did kind of swing his arm out a little bit as the ball was coming in. He did kind of move the arm out enough to where but it also kind of hit like a little bit both the arm and the inside a bit, so it wasn't that far out. I'm not doing a good job describing that, but it was one of those that it was called a PK in League Two in England. But it was one of those that I wonder if it would have been called a PK in America. Not sure what those emojis mean, JT. Another throw in for Minnesota, by the way. Oh, and speaking of the Discord, it's someone that just joined the GFTL. Which one of you is GFTL? Identify yourself. Yeah. Ooh, that's a volley, but cleared. Yeah, I agree, Mason. It may have hit his arm, but we're not getting that call. I don't think his arm was that far out either. I'm not too aggrieved on that one. I mean, I'm kind of numb to it as Giannis Horn does go down. But as Mason pointed out earlier, I did see it. Twitter sucks so bad. This isn't. I don't want this to devolve into a political argument or anything like that. So I'm going to avoid the political side of this. Although it's very obvious to see now that Elon's in charge, how the politics are going on that platform. He's offside. He's not offside. He timed it nicely. Okay. He's behind a D. Good block. Kessler there. Shot blocked. It's a block party in Minnesota tonight, and you're invited. And we are clear for now. So I realize a lot of you watching this right now probably discovered me from Twitter. And I have close to 2,500 followers, and I'm pretty sure most of them are real people. Like, I go through and clean out the bots, every so often. And there's things I haven't liked about Twitter for a while. Not the least of which is its name, because I still call it Twitter. It will never be X to me. As another decent Minnesota move gets called back. There's things I haven't liked about Twitter for a long time, and I've been able to deal with it mostly just because that's where a lot of you are, and it's like I don't want to lose what I have per se. And as Brad points out, X is just a letter of the alphabet. That is true. That is true. And yeah, City's not managing the ball with their feet very well. But the new moves that Elon is doing, the faux block thing, I'm not even that upset about, because YouTube has that. There's if someone decides to start being nasty in one of my YouTube videos, there's an option where you can click hide user from channel. And what that does is it doesn't ban them, but they are prevented from interacting from your channel. They can they can comment, but no one's ever going to see it. Basically, they're just basically in their own little private cube, of the internet, basically. I feel it's different though with Twitter, because Twitter, there is legitimate privacy concerns with that. It's one thing to kind of shadow realm someone on YouTube from one of your videos, but Twitter's a far more social platform, and it is kind of frightening that some not for me personally. I don't think most of the people I block on Twitter are just ignorant a-holes, but they're not predatory or anything like that. But I know that's just my case. I know there's people on Twitter that might have some legitimate safety concerns with this new move that's coming. The thing that makes me want to just light my Twitter account on fire is the whole AI thing that's going to be coming on November 15th. Basically, Elmo rewrote the privacy policy to now allow any third-party AI, probably most importantly his own Grok AI, to just use your content whenever. You don't even have to give consent. Basically, they're saying as long if you subscribe to X and you post on X, you post your videos and your images and your creative works or what have you, I can just fucking take it and use it for AI purposes. No. And as Ryan points out, women really have to look out with the block change. That I agree. That doesn't affect me as much personally, but I definitely see where that affects people. I have a big problem with the AI thing. I don't consent to that. I just flat out don't. So I'm not going to delete my Twitter account on November 15th. I think I'm going to make it private, though. I think I'm going to lock it. I guess I am getting into a discussion about Twitter and social media. I didn't necessarily want to, but it kind of just makes me it makes me upset as St. Clair corrals that pretty easily. Because and it's one of those things where I might still like use it to like lurk. Like I have an Instagram account. I don't use Instagram for anything, just to lurk. Basically, I follow people on there. I don't post on there. It's just not my favorite platform. Twitter might become Instagram for me, where I have an account on there. And I'll still kind of monitor things. So I know people aren't going to jump over to the Blue Sky right away. I mean, they are, but like we need more basically. But so there's a very strong chance that my Twitter account is going to be, I would say it's a 90% chance that I'm going to go private on YouTube, or on Twitter rather, on November 15th, and probably just post on Blue Sky and Threads. Mainly Blue Sky. I think I like Blue Sky a lot better from a UI standpoint than Threads. Anyway, that's my TED Talk for the night. And as Mason points out, that is kind of the bad thing about Twitter, is that everyone's still there. And it's hard to break a habit. I get it. And it's also companies, like, they rely on Twitter and social media for a lot of their business, and they can't just abandon it, when people are still there. That's why it's up to individual users to break off from Twitter, which is hard to do for us because it's just a habit for us, and it's where I built my brand. But yeah, as Mason points out, it's kind of why Blue Sky has sucked for a bit, because it's been a ghost town, which is true. It's true. But now, I think the Brazil thing, a lot of people, header on net. That was an actual shot on net, everyone. Let's go. We got a shot on net. Okay, that's enough of that. So when Brazil banned Twitter, a lot of Brazilians hopped over to Blue Sky. And I think a lot of them are still on Blue Sky. They didn't necessarily go and come back to Twitter. I think some did, but not all. You could use a VPN to get around that in Brazil, by the way. But I think that may have been kind of like one of those tipping point moments that they talk about. And I think this new thing with the block and the AI, I think that's going to be another tipping point. Yeah, Grok sounds like a Muppet. Grok sounds like Fozzie Bear's like evil nemesis. Like Fozzie Bear makes his bad jokes, and then Grok just goes Grok, and Fozzie just ain't having it. Ryan points out Meta has its own issues, but I can at least manage the issues there. For the most part, I agree. I'm still not a biggest fan of Meta either. I don't like the UI of Instagram. I never have. And Threads kind of has similar issues with that. As we are now in stoppage time, by the way, so I need to stop my timer. There we go. I'll restart it in the second half at this particular point. So yeah, Facebook has its own privacy issues, which I'm not a big fan of. I don't use Facebook hardly anymore, just except that I keep in touch with family. But it's really even hard to do that just because of how much crap they put on the feed. Kane points out that Threads, a lot of pro teams are continually posting on there, and they're not really posting on Blue Sky yet. It took a while for pro teams to even adopt Threads. That was the whole, and because they all kind of jumped over when, like, that hot minute when Threads got really hot because of Elon deciding to like rate limit everyone on Twitter that one day. I'll never forget, it was July 1st. And because it was the first day of NHL free agency, and it completely derailed the usual fun that NHL free agency was, because Elon was on his bullshit. Mason, Threads is a website that you log on to so you can see two tech CEOs post very nice stuff at each other. So that's not LinkedIn anymore. I feel that's LinkedIn. Yeah, Threads has I don't know what to make of Threads. All right, step 1, get a shot. Step 2, profit. And I see you, Ryan. You've been posting a lot of All for City stuff on Blue Sky, and so hopefully I'm trying to. If I post something on Twitter, post it on Blue Sky as well. Trying to get that going. and get into that habit for when I, pull the plug on Twitter, as I'm likely to do next month. And yeah, Brett, you found this out. This is one reason I like Blue Sky. Blue Sky looks like old school Twitter. Before the dark times, before the Empire, before the Elon. I do like that. I do agree, though, that I wish there was a way you can update both at once. I guess if they joined the Fediverse, you could, because I think there's an app that lets you post on like all of the like threads and Facebook. Oh, shot a dribbler, not on net, but that's hope. That's hope. Kane's giving both apps benefit of the doubt for still being relatively new. So talking about Threads and Blue Sky being so new, I get it. I mean, Twitter was new at one point, but then again, Twitter was a concept. It was still like the concept of a social media site, whereas the concept's been established, and yet, so we're just trying to move on from the original. It's like Twitter. I mean, wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if in 10 years we're talking about Twitter in the same vein that we talk about MySpace, honestly, because people thought MySpace wasn't going to go away, and they did. That is Leuven. That was not a good free kick. I mean, that's halftime now. It is 1-0 Minnesota United. It feels like that first half took like 4 hours. That was just not great. Yeah, and to be fair, you don't want to lift content from existing creators on Twitter, though. It's not fair to them. That's totally right. Always give credit when you can. And Brad is making a point here. So Brad's a Tesla guy. He's a SpaceX guy. He's not an Elon guy. So that you can be all that. You can be very pro tech, and still be anti Elon. There's other comparisons I can make, but I'm not going to go into. A little political. Yeah, Leuven's delivery tonight has been bad. Mason's calling for a return to live journal. Jeremy, a whopping 0.13 XG shot, 2 shots on goal. I'm seeing some big eyes in the waiting room right now. Mason, they're not yours, but I'm going to bring you on anyway, because live from Minneapolis, Minnesota,
it's Saturday night.
God, it's Kane.
How's it going? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sweet.
So, fun first half, huh? Not really.
It was so exciting. It's so exhilarating.
By the way, you look very cold right now.
It is. Hold on. 61 degrees. It's chilly, but it's so manageable.
I think that's actually warmer than it is here.
Honestly, that is actually is right. It's in the 50s here right now. But I wouldn't call it sweater weather though. That's but I like that he came prepared. So, anything that you notice out of City in the first half, Kane, that maybe we didn't like? We just look we can't connect on passes. We just look kind of sluggish tonight. What do you think?
1 second. Switch this up. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Okay. Well, it's not anymore ideal because your audio's cutting out, but I don't know if it's the connection or not. But
your connection's good.
They just look boring right now. And I know there's not much to play for. I know we've established that, but they look boring. That's kind of about it.
Yeah, that's really all you can say at this point. I mean, Mason, what more can you say? We're in the mud.
Yeah, I don't know. The passes are sloppy and what was it, Jeremy that said we had 0.13 XG on goal? Like, come on, that's abysmal.
I believe it. And we have 1 shot on goal. Well, 2 if you count Klaus's long distance effort. But not great. By the way, Kane, I know you're not alone in Minneapolis right now. There are other St. Louis City fans there, including.
So we got a couple right here.
There's
Hey,
Chris
what's up, Chris?
There he is.
I wish.
And good, always good to see Chris.
We got Mason and Tom. We got some friends over. We got City fans on all sides, all corners.
They've been showing you guys on camera, and like it feels like they always go to like a different part of the stadium to show you guys. So you're spread all over.
Well, hopefully. Well, I was gonna say hopefully they don't show me because my parents know that I'm here, and so I kind of.
Well, I hope they don't have YouTube because you're definitely on here. But Kane, you're not the only one that is in Minneapolis, and you're not the only one that's in Minneapolis that is actually on right now as Kane disappears. I guess he didn't like Aaron stealing his spotlight. But Aaron Leak, how's it going, Aaron?
Hey, we're doing good out here. I didn't mean to kick Kane off. I don't want to usurp his presence or anything like that.
Well, Kane is back. It wasn't you, Aaron. You didn't kick him out. I think the wonderful connection at Allianz Field kicked him out.
They're conspiring against us.
Yeah. So, Aaron, we were talking about how not exciting that first half was. If you're a St. Louis City fan, we from our vantage point, it looked like we're very sluggish, can't connect on passes. What are you seeing?
Well, Minnesota seems pretty happy to just sit in a low block and give us possession, and we're not a possession team. We shouldn't have 58% possession. That's just not our game. So, especially when you combine those things, we're struggling to find ways to get the ball into the box. But overall, the stadium's beautiful. This is a far different review from San Jose. The stadium's beautiful. The fans are a lot of fun. The supporter section is incredible. So it's a much different atmosphere.
Yeah, and we were watching on TV. Like, there's not many empty seats there. Like they showed out for this one in Minnesota. So is it? Does it look pretty full to you, Aaron?
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what the stadium holds. I think it's like 18,000, but I would say it's pretty close to probably full.
Yeah, Allianz Field looks like a very nice stadium based on pictures and video that I've seen. Kane, what are your thoughts on Allianz Field?
I like it a lot. Again, kind of like Salt Lake and places like that. It feels like a proper soccer atmosphere. Their supporter. I was trying to figure out how to switch my camera around. I can't figure it out, but their supporter section is massive.
Yeah,
and it's full tonight.
Yeah, try doing like a 180
I will
with your
physically turn it around, but I don't know if that's gonna work.
There we go. Yeah, it's kind of small, but it looks like a big section though.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Let me show it again real quick. Here, I'm gonna get you on the full screen there. There we go. That is a big supporter section.
It's basically corner to corner.
Yeah, it stretches corner to corner. It looks very wide. Aaron, I mean, it looks massive.
And it's really tall. It goes all the way up to the scoreboard. So
yeah, also only one scoreboard.
They're energetic. Yeah.
Yeah,
food options here. Still not City Park. Not City Park at all.
Gotcha. Well, one thing Kane was saying is that a lot of us St. Louis fans are very spread out. Like, there's St. Louis fans everywhere. Like, Kane, it looks like Kane is like on the opposite end of the supporters. And where are you in the stadium, Aaron?
I am over in the corner opposite of supporters. So I'm not far from where Kane and Chris are. I'm like 3 sections over.
Gotcha. And we see it there. I remember. I forget his name. Super nice dude though.
Andrew?
Andrew, yes, Andrew. Thank you, Andrew. Good to see you, bud. Good to see you. I see you at City Games a lot as well. You just got all the celebrities next to you, Kane, don't you?
Oh no, we are. We're showing out.
I mean, how did you work it out so that you're sitting next to Chris?
I don't know. It's just one of those magical things of the universe that, It brings all City fans together.
It is. It's the beautiful game. It is the
It
beautiful
is.
game.
That is what it is.
Well, if you can do me a favor, Kane, buy Chris a beer for me, and I'll pay it back.
I will. Will do.
Yeah, let me know what I owe you. Definitely.
Sounds good.
But it sounds like based on the light show you're getting right now, you're not too far from getting back into action. So here, let's get Kane. Let's watch the light show.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to look for the time, but they don't have it up because of the light show.
Yeah, looks pretty cool though.
I wish I remembered how to turn my camera around.
And then Aaron is showing it as well, but his screen's kind of a potato right now, so we're going to go back to Kane. I think Aaron's suffering from the connection there as well, but that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Looks like a real fun vibe. I need to get there next year.
Yeah, I think it's one of the places that I would definitely recommend, and I would definitely come back to.
Definitely. Well, I'm going to let you two enjoy the second half. Looks like you're about ready to get underway here. And let's go City.
Go City.
All right. There we go. Our foreign correspondents, Kane and Aaron. That is a new show record. We have 2 foreign correspondents out there.
Competing for airtime.
literally. As much as the Wi-Fi there will let them. So, catching up on some chat comments here while we were talking with them. Jeremy pointing out, we look about how Hack described in the pregame on Y98 said it was difficult to train this week with guys fighting a lack of excitement with nothing to play for. I think that's very much reflected here tonight, Mason.
Yeah, that tracks, and you can kind of see it in the play as well, I think. I can't say I'm surprised. I was hoping to see a little more enthusiasm, but I'm not surprised that they're not showing much.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, I even have it. I'm having a hard time getting into this. Like,
we're talking about social media beefs primarily.
I know. That's how wonderful this game has been. And like we brought in 2 people from Minnesota, and they're bored. And like that's how it's going.
Yeah.
That's how it's going. Klaus Opportunity generated most of our XG, 0.07 XG with a 0.12 XGOT. That is sad.
Woof.
That is very sad. I
guess I'm not surprised that toy shirt shot that kissed the bar didn't generate a lot of XG, because that's a low percentage shot to take.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it would have at least generated some. I mean, the fact that it hit bar, I would have thought that that maybe would have done it. By the way, we are picking up Chris's tab tonight. Brad Whiteside donating the $5 towards beer money.
To give Chelsea a place in the Champions League final.
Thank you very much, Brad, for that. By the way, that'll go towards the hashtag Drink for City for our friend Chris Gebhardt. Aaron pointing out he is now in chat. Minnesota fans have been super friendly as expected. Good-natured fans, considering he's literally surrounded. It definitely looked like Aaron was surrounded by loons, and I say that in a nice way, because you don't want to call random people loons.
Absolutely inundated. Yeah, I almost ran into that when I was titling the ramble the last time we played Minnesota. I was like, wait, hang on, I shouldn't call it this.
It's like when I lived in Indiana, and like I heard someone call someone else a Hoosier, and I'm like, oh, wait a second, that's a term of endearment there.
Yeah, you can just say that.
They actually like that there, whereas
it's our word, we're allowed to say it.
Well, I think the only place you can call someone a Hoosier in the St. Louis area and get away with it is Lime.
Yeah.
That's about it. FOTMob apparently doesn't even factor toy shirts.
It hit the bar.
Yeah. Like, what more do they want? I mean, we've talked a lot on this channel, Mason, about how FOTMob is not the end-all be-all for XG. And that's one of the reasons.
Yeah, no. I like FOTMob because it is convenient. It is not great for stats. And I'm not even a big stat head.
Me neither. Me neither. I'm gonna try to get Michael from Chat City Tactics on during the off season to kind of give me and everyone a primer on stats, because like there's so many numbers that I see that like I just don't know what that is. You know,
I was celebrity of the St. Louis area, Matt Baker, posted like this thing that was like a rundown on what goals added was. And even just reading it, like not even like getting into the actual mathematics of it, just reading the explanation, I was like, huh? What? Yeah. I felt like an absolute idiot reading it. I was like, I do not get this.
I mean, Michael, when we do that episode on YouTube, he might literally have to draw things in crayon for me because I don't math. I never have mathed.
No, I'm not very good at it either.
By the way, but you know what, Mason? Things could be worse. We could be like Jeff here, who spent 2 days in a crawl space replacing a drain pipe.
Oh, no.
We need something to excite him, and right now this game isn't doing it. So, come on, City. We need to exercise Jeff. We need to make Jeff excited about something in life, because that drain pipe certainly would not do it.
We have to do it for Jeff.
Do it for Jeff. In fact, that's going to be the hashtag. Do it for Jeff.
I think we're about to get into the second half here.
Yep. So I am going to let you go until the end of the game, and hopefully
we'll have more to talk about at the end of the game.
I know, right? I mean, like literally, Aaron and Kane saved this watch along. I think because
I'm certainly not doing it.
No.
I'm a lead balloon in this thing.
Same. I'm. This is the struggle bus.
All right. I will see you later,
man. All right. Brad Whiteside in the chat. Minnesota United is less than 10 hours one way. It is doable for a road trip. Just may need a place to stay for the night. So, Kane and Aaron do not believe in their abilities to save a watch along. I appreciate your humility. But Brad, about Minnesota United. So I have a friend that lives in Burlington, Iowa. It's not a perfect middle point, but like I always have a place to stay if I need to. So Minnesota's going to happen next year. And it'll be a road trip. And you are welcome to join me on that if you want to. You don't have to drive the whole way though this time, Brad. Like you drove me to and from Kansas City, man. You're a freaking legend for that. I think I still owe you a beer from that. If I don't, I feel like I should. Jerry, well, we got 45 minutes to play like pros and take to homes far and wide. A participation lollipop to suck on until 2025. All right. I did not forget the timer. It is, I need to wait for it to queue up. See, I'm becoming a more responsible watch-along host at the end of the season. And we're good. We're good. I'm getting better at this. I think most of All for City Twitter right now is just like bored out of their minds. Brad, you are a sicko. You drove from St. Louis to New Mexico back to St. Louis in 2022, both ways. Was this the same day? Tell me you had an overnight stop. I mean, like you stopped in New Mexico. Because actually, I have that beat. I have driven from the northwest corner of North Dakota to St. Louis. I've done that in one trip all by myself. No stops. I don't recommend it. I do not. Okay, Brad stayed in New Mexico for like 5 days, so that's fine. That's fine. You have time to rest. Yeah, I have the fortune of having lived in both Dakotas. I lived in Aberdeen, South Dakota for a bit. I made that trek to St. Louis a few times. That's a little less. That's only 12 hours. Williston, North Dakota was much more. I do not recommend doing that in one day. The Aberdeen one I could do. but it was a challenge. Oh, this is a good ball. Totlin in the box. Klaus shot blocked. Oh, that was just about as good of a shot as we've had in a little bit. Mason, buddy of mine did Laramie, Wyoming to St. Louis, but I think he stopped halfway. Yeah, you kind of have to for that one. That's a boring drive from Laramie to St. Louis. Like you're thinking like you're either going through Nebraska and Iowa or you're going through eastern Colorado and Kansas. Like neither one of those are great drives. I mean, Wyoming's pretty though. Although I don't know is Laramie in the pretty part of Wyoming? Low dribbler corner. What are these corners? What are these corners? Oh man, God, we're ass tonight. Oh, so he had to drive from Laramie out of necessity because his flight out of Denver got canceled. That's fair. I've connected through Denver a couple of times. I've not had a problem, but I've heard others have. Brad, New Mexico is 15 and some change. Also, we did about halfway and stopped overnight. Okay, so he didn't do the whole thing in one haul, not all in one day. Just that's fine. If you can at least stop in halfway through that, that's doable. I drove from Dallas to South Bend, Indiana, but I stopped twice. I stopped at my cousins in Tulsa, and I stopped at my godparents back here in St. Louis. Going down to Dallas from South Bend, I stopped overnight in St. Louis, and then I drove from St. Louis to Dallas. That's about a 9-hour drive. I was very tired when I was done with it, but it's doable. Yeah. Not even like Fargo's in the southeastern corner. Like Fargo would not be as bad as my drive. Yeah, North Dakota is not a fun state to drive through. It's just very bleak. South Dakota weirdly is worse. I don't know why. South Dakota is just very nothing. At least with North Dakota, you get kind of, you get some hills. The Badlands are nice. This is how fun this game is. We're talking about the merits of North Dakota over South Dakota. That is how bad it is tonight. Dracul. Longest is St. Louis to Clearwater. I've been in the car for a couple St. Louis to Tampa trips. When I was growing up, because I have family down there, me and my dad would take like an annual road trip down there. And I don't think we ever one-shotted it. I think we always would stop. But I know my dad's made that trek a few times from Tampa to St. Louis in one shot. But that was just not with me in the car. It was just himself. Different reasons. Honestly, Kane, you're not wrong. Both Dakotas should just become a Dakota. Like, there's really no reason why they can't be, honestly. They're very similar politically. Okay, that's dealt with. This game has the feel of drunk Bob Uecker and a Major League. Who cares? The hell with it. Love me some Bob Uecker. Brad is correct on South Dakota. I went to when I lived in North Dakota. Our radio station took a bus trip with some listeners down to Deadwood, South Dakota, where while Bill Hickok got shot, they had the gold mines back in the 1800s. There was an HBO series about it. That part of South Dakota is really nice. That's in the Black Hills. Very pretty, very pretty, and Deadwood's fun. Deadwood's again, I don't know when you'll ever be out that way for for any reason. I wouldn't make it the reason to go out there, but it's fun. Deadwood's fun. Like if you're like a big history buff, like Deadwood's a good place. It's got a lot of old Western stuff and that sort of thing. Deadwood's fun. Deadwood's very fun. Bucket hats, welcome to this absolute drizzling shit show of a game. As Mason points out, this game does suck. We are just playing follow the bouncing ball right now as Leuven finally gets it on his feet. Steele, Totland, blocked. Of course it is. Blah. Yeah, I wouldn't mind going back to Deadwood someday, honestly. I just don't know when I'll be out that way, though. You know, that's kind of the thing. Yeah, this game is awful. This game is just awful. Brad's done St. Louis to Orlando overnight. Yep. It's not easy. Monteagle can be Monteagle's not as treacherous as it was, but like if you've made the drive from St. Louis to Florida, you know what Monteagle is. It's a very steep grade on the interstate. And when I was younger, that was not for the weak. Jeff's making a good point. What's even worse is they're not playing bad, just boring. Yeah. And not only that, but this is just like I just watched the last 30 seconds, just very sloppy. A lot of turnovers. Now we're playing follow the bouncing ball again. There's a whistle from God knows what. It's not good. It is not good. I feel I've seen worse games as well. I think I probably saw worse games on my USL trips this year. Honestly, I kind of got bad luck on those. Like until the KC Current game that I went to a couple weeks ago, like none of the USL games I went to were real thrillers, which is unfortunate because you can have some very thrilling soccer in USL. I just got bad luck. Tulsa was a 0-0. Rowdies, they got crunked 2-0. Tampa Bay Sun was 1-1. Omaha Madison was a 1-1, but that was kind of fun. Louisville got stomped by Frankfurt. The first Ford Madison game I went to was a 0-0. Here's Yeboah again, and he yeets it into the 8th row. Yeah, look at their supporters end. Well, they just cut away from it. Their supporters end looks like a bigger version of the North End, basically. And I think Aaron pointed out, it goes all the way up to the top. I wish our supporters end did that. You know, like I know they have if they did, I might not have my season tickets in 217 right above the supporters section. But like I do kind of wish that our supporters section went all the way up to the top. Brad went to a very fun Louisville City game. Yeah. Louisville City's got a really nice stadium. I definitely don't go to Deadwood, go to Louisville. if you're in the St. Louis area, Louisville's a lot easier to get to. You can do the Bourbon tour, and Louisville's a fun little city. And then they have a very nice soccer stadium as well. Be Good Do Good points out that this is like a marionette puppet show, arms and legs flailing. It's like wacky inflatable arm men, you know, just basically doing. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing with my arms right now. Put me in, coach. Jeremy pointing out this doesn't feel as boring as that LAFC match a few weeks ago. I beg to differ. At least the LAFC game felt like I think there was still a whisper of a chance of the playoffs for us. This has nothing attached to it except the possibility that we knock down Minnesota to the wild card game, which it sounds like that's not going to happen. Buckethead, am I going to the USA game? Yes, I already got my tickets for that. Brad Whiteside will be with me on that as well. So yeah, we are good to go for that. I'll be up in my not my exact season ticket seats, but up in 217 for those. And and the reason I bought those USA tickets was because tickets were a lot more reasonable for those. Like the ones from last year, it felt like they were price gouging us, definitely. This time it wasn't bad. This time, like I think it was like $30 for per ticket, which is not bad. I can live with that. Brad is looking at another Kentucky trip next year, probably whenever New Mexico comes to play. Brad, a big New Mexico fan. I want to go out to Kentucky when Lexington and Louisville play because I want to see if that becomes a rivalry because that's two Kentucky teams, geographically speaking. I mean, that should be a rivalry. Whether it is or not, don't know. But I do want to check out Lexington's new stadium as well. There's a lot of possibilities next year for road trips, I feel like, that I can do. It's kind of exciting to think about, actually, including seeing my friend David Cotton out in California, which I think that's the most likely one right now. I definitely want to go out and see David in California next year, and I want to see the Oakland Roots in Oakland Coliseum. That is definitely that's a trip I want to make next year. I hear, like, look, I know the Coliseum's not much to write home about. I know Oakland's not much to write home about. But it's the Oakland Coliseum. It's second tier U.S. soccer inside a big, empty concrete husk. Like, who would want to see that? Maybe I'm just weird. Take a look. He's in the book. Send him home now. He can do anything. Arnold gets dispossessed. No one home. Although it's kind of interesting. Now Minnesota looks very content to just kind of I mean, they've been letting us have possession, but like, it feels like Minnesota's parking the bus a little bit now, doesn't it? Buckethead will be in 220 for the USA game. Root supporters do look like a very good bunch. That seems to be a very good supporters group there. In fact, actually, I think they got multiple supporters groups. And they're definitely driven. I do recommend Tulsa. I will recommend Tulsa. They got a very good score on my away day reviews. Well, the dollar beers helped. That was a special promotion. They had $1 beers in a section that's not the best viewing spot, but it surprised me because it's in a baseball stadium that's currently used for baseball, but it kind of worked. Yep, yellow card. Jeremy wants the Reading Rainbow sung in the North End more often. I agree. I totally agree. David's hoping to see USL 1 in Santa Barbara and AV Alta next year. Might join you for one of those trips. Oh, hard old turnover. But bad handling. And that's a foul. Or not. Betcher was yanked down, but that was no call. That's awful. I think the ref's bored right now. Wow. But to David's point, I'm actually, so I go see my aunt in Sarasota every year, which, by the way, she's fine. She rode out the hurricane in Alabama, and the only thing that was destroyed at her home was her garden. Basically, she needs to make a new garden. But even she's like, we will rebuild. And she will. She loves that garden. Really more her husband likes the garden. But anyway, I digress. But when I go see her next year, I want to go down to Naples. FC Naples is starting up in USL 1 next year. I want to see them. I want to see Sarasota Paradise, where Kojima played last year. I hear that's actually a pretty good time. And there's been some talk about Sarasota maybe moving up to League One, possibly. So those two are on my list, Sarasota and Naples next year for Florida. Yeah, I was also wow on that throw in being given to Minnesota. Yeah, a little ref ball getting in there tonight. Referee definitely the main character. We have crossed the 1 hour mark on the timer. In the middle, drive, shot, blocked. A lot of blocked shots tonight. But like there's a lot of blocked shots, but they're not from like very high XG spots either. Like we just like I would give what I would give right now for a chance in the box. I'm going to take a wild guess, Jeremy, and say that our XG has not moved very much from halftime. We know our stats expert, Jeremy, on that. Yeah, the build-up looked great until we got to the box. Yeah, totally. I mean, it looked promising, but promises. By the way, breaking news, we are up to 0.19 XG, up from 0.13 XG. In the words of Bob Wiley, Bill Murray's character from What About Bob? Baby steps. We are a plus 0.6 XG this half. Now I'm kind of glad I did not make the Minnesota trek because that was a serious consideration, and I would have if I had not had a St. Louis University volleyball obligation earlier today. I would have made that trek, and I'm kind of glad I don't because. And Aaron can talk about the Houston game that me and him went to in the CONCACAF. This game's not good, and that Houston game was not good either. It was just a bad game. In fact, I would argue that that Houston game that me and Aaron saw was like one of the worst games I've ever seen. Like I didn't have my away day review format for that one, but like if I would have graded Shell Energy Stadium in Houston after that game, the stadium would have gotten a 5. It's okay. It's very concrete. It's fine. It works. I would have given the game quality a 0.5. It was bad. I would have given the value probably something average, like a 5 or a 6. Nothing really stood out. And the vibes I would have given like a 1 because there was no one there. There was 5,000 people there. It was just dead. So that would have easily been the worst. Oh, we've got a yellow card for you, Boa. He can do anything. Take a look. He's in the book. Send him home now. I'm so glad you're watching this watch along to hear my dulcet tones. Do-do-do, do-do-do. David Cotton with some scores from around the league right now. Vancouver leads Salt Lake City 1-0 right now. Over in San Jose, it is San Jose 1, LAFC 0. Shocker. Houston and LA Galaxy. Houston leads 1-0. And in the Northwest Derby, Seattle and Portland, it is Seattle leading 1-0. Dallas currently leading those blue bastards from Kansas 2-0 right now. So go FC Dallas. I can be a Toro tonight. I really don't. Usually I don't have any feelings about FC Dallas. Like none of the Texas teams I have any. I'm kind of ambivalent about. Austin's kind of interesting because I hate their owner, but they're starting left back. Oh, here we go. Shot blocked. Of course it is. Why would I expect anything different? But Austin's left back is John Gallagher, who I got to see my first ever public address gig at the University of Notre Dame. He was the Fighting Irish's starting striker and called a few of his goals. So I'm always... I have a John Gallagher jersey from Austin. Very happy for him. Still not a fan of Austin, but like, he's one of those players that I follow just because of that connection. Yes, the Cascadia Derby. I was trying to. I kept forgetting the name, but yeah, that's the Cascadia Derby. Brain no worky. Next season goal for St. Louis City: have 2 good games in a row. Well, we had that with the Sporting KC game and the Houston game. That was 2. Those 2 very good games. And then we got this. We can't have 3 in a row. We just can't have 3 in a row. Fragapane coming in there. Fragapane. Buongiorno. Other scores from around the league. Austin and Colorado are tied 1-1. The aforementioned Austin FC. It is now 1-1 between LAFC and San Jose. So the earth is healing right now. Had San Jose actually won that game, that would have been like cataclysmic upset, though. And yeah, Mason, I don't think we can. Fragapane. That might be, you come along, names that you just like saying, in the league. Fragapane. I like that one. JT, as he points out, it only takes 1 goal to turn this game around. 1 goal, it's all it takes. Ball in the box, set it away. I think this needs some. Oh wait, yeah, we did lose the LAFC between those 2. I forgot about that. I actually forgot about that. I completely forgot about that game, just completely. But anyway, we need some vibes in here. Okay. Yeah, we need some goals. We need some goals. Leuven, far side to Totland. Back forward. Klaus, a shot on net, but it's another dribbler. As Mason is calling for his hero, Rasmus Alm, to save us. Yeah, I don't want to think about LAFC either. That was not good. It's not good. Coco Carrasquilla has a great name. That is true. And as a public address guy, you also find names that you just love saying. That's that shot gets shanked into the 5th row, like, SIUE basketball. There was a female player named Sarah Mayarosova. There's names like that you just love saying. Like there was UMSL had Mallory Ronstadt. Things like that. Red card for Seattle. It's still 1-1 there. Portland getting on the board. So the Cascadia Cup derby is tied. So Rasmus Alm and Nukvi Thorson are in now. Watson Toysher go out. SETI off for Thor. I mean, I know the thing is for, Thor and why. SETI looked kind of quiet tonight. Like he was one of those offenders when we were talking about, players not handling the ball very well and not connecting on passes. He was kind of one of those offenders. The rare dud from I mean, I wouldn't call it a dud. Chance, wide open shot. Goal. Pain. 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 Pain.
We're fucking shit. We're fucking shit. We're fucking shit. We're fucking
100%. Absolutely. We just got scored on by we just got scored by Discount Kim from Tottenham, whose name is suddenly escaping me right now. Sun Hyung Min. We just got scored by we have Sun Hyung Min at home. I can't speak Korean names. It's impossible. Yeah. Sun Hyung Min at home just scored at us. Thank you, Jeremy. Appreciate that. Names are hard. Yeah, we sub, we can't adapt. That's how it is. This definitely checks for the season for sure. Don't give up a goal right after a sub challenge. Impossible. Totally. And I think those two things aren't exactly related either, because look who came on. I mean, nothing Thor or Alm could have done about that. I mean, maybe you kill Watts if he was still in. Yeah, things we can leave in 2024. The trend of allowing a goal right after subs is not good. By the way, everyone get congratulations out to Tim's Bucket Hat and his wife, Melissa. They, I believe, just had a child recently. And unfortunately, City is making Bucket Hat's son cry. Oh, here we go, though. Klaus near side. He's got space. Can he find a friend? DeVarnold goal!
To give Chelsea a place in the Champions League final. The headline has been written.
I can use this flag. Hey, I can use a flag. Yay! We did something. And that was Marcel Hartl. This flag is not very flaggy. Oh, and there's the. What is this? What does this mean? Like, I know it's like a personal celebration for him, but like, what does that like actually represent? Klaus haters did not like that. Klaus haters hate this one trick. Sun is happy right now. Sun is happy. And by the way, right before then, Dracula, congratulations, Bucket Hat, by the way. Yo, goal. Maybe we could have a fun 20 minutes. Can we have a fun 20 minutes? Yeah, hating any of our players is pointless. I agree. You can be frustrated with players, but hate's a strong thing. Like, unless they aggrieved you personally some way, that don't hate. Like, I've been frustrated by Thor a few times this year. Does it mean I hate him? No. Jake Nerwinski has had his, moments where he drives me nuts. Do I hate him? Absolutely not. Here we go, Hartl. Oh, guy goes down. Why did the referee stop? Oh, they're going to say Klaus tripped that guy. Gosh. Well, Thor can't score that goal because the ref blew the flippin' whistle.
I'm blind. I'm deaf. I want to be a ref. I'm blind. I'm deaf. I want to be a ref. I'm blind. I'm deaf. I want to be a ref. I'm blind. I'm deaf. I want to be a ref.
I've been waiting to use that, by the way. Finally got to use it. Okay, so the it's Eminem. So or it's like this. So this is wife's name starts with an M, and so does his. So that makes sense. That's cool. Yeah, it's a wife and kid acknowledgement. That's awesome. Well, we're a nice channel, Mason. So yeah, I can definitely. I probably know what chant you're talking about. I don't think I can play that on here though. As we're gonna get a Minnesota corner here. Corner in the box shot, and we are back to square one.
We're fucking shit. We're fucking shit. We're fucking shit. We're fucking shit.
We just are.
We're fucking shit.
100%.
We're fucking shit.
Tonight,
We're fucking shit.
a lot of times,
Fucking shit.
we just are.
We're fucking shit. We're fucking shit.
Especially on the road. Yeah, it's not good. There was 3 of our own players there, and none of them could get a head on. Well, Kessler did, and it went in the net. That deserves another. I mean, what a finish by Kessler, though. I mean, that's a great finish by Kessler. I mean, get him out front for our own corner kicks. Dude, okay, they just showed Kessler, and he looks like absolutely devastated right now by that. I feel bad for him. Okay, that's I mean, yeah, Taylor was old as time conceding goals. That was an accident. I feel. Did you guys see the look on Kessler's face? I feel really bad for him now. I feel really bad for him. No one likes to, put in own goals. That was so sad. I like Kessler. I don't like seeing Kessler sad. Yeah, he looked like he was about ready to burst in tears. That poor guy. In other scores from around the league, it is now tied between Real Salt Lake and Vancouver 1-1. Meanwhile, LAFC has taken the lead on San Jose to the shock of absolutely no one. It is now 2-1 LAFC. Can City 2 provide some postseason relief? They've got a chance. They're playing LAFC 2 tomorrow. Corner kick in the box, headed away. So when I said, can we get some excitement for the last 20 minutes? That was not what I was looking for. By the way, Jeremy has got a problem with Kessler virtually. In his FC 25 game, he agreed to leave St. Louis for Chicago right after they won the MLS Cup. Like, why would you do that? Like, Greg Berhalter is not it. Who wants to play Greg ball in 2024? By the way, Dracula, it's going to be your first City 2 game. Nice. City 2 is fun. It's definitely a more laid back vibe than the regular season games are. Like, we don't usually have a supporter section. The Santos will be there tomorrow, though, in section 109. I can confirm that we have a tifo for City 2, the first ever City 2 tifo. I helped paint it Friday. We're going to unfurl that on tomorrow. There's going to be a kids march to the stadium from the pitch. So there will be a supporters march of sorts led by the Santos. So they're going to pull out some stops tomorrow, but like it's still going to be City 2 is a very fun laid back environment. By the way, as Minnesota gets in a ball deep into the St. Louis territory here, hang on just a second. I'll get to that point I was going to make here in a bit. Crossed over. Let go. Minnesota. They're deep in St. Louis territory, but they're not like pushing. They're content to have it where they are right now. They're just very patiently looking for an opportunity right now. Oh, turnover. Ref. Okay, that's fine. It was advantage. That's fine. Break here, 4-on-3. It's got options. Takes the trailing option. Klaus, who gets dispossessed. Can we get the ball back? We do. Good hustle by Thor. And now we're just going to wait for the build-up. That's fine. We've got numbers, definitely. Although Minnesota's got all 10 of their players back in their final third. And now they're going to go the other way here, but they don't have anyone to break out really except 14 up there, which they are going to get it to him. Sun Heung-min at home gets it to 14. Back to Sun Heung-min at home.
We're fucking shit! We're fucking shit! We're fucking shit!
It's just like that tonight. It's just one of those nights. I mean, look at him. He really does look like Sun Heung-min at home. Okay, let's talk about happy things. First things first. St. Louis City 2 has a real chance at winning silverware this year. They are the second seed in the Western Conference. They only played LAFC 2 once this year. They picked LAFC 2 for that reason, as well as the fact that LAFC has to travel a long-ass way to St. Louis. That's not fun for MLS Next Pro teams. So that's one thing. How about another thing? $5 beers at City 2 games. Section 102, they have a little bar area where you can get yourself $5 beers. They had those at the scrimmage last week, and they had Schlafly Summer Lager there. They had other couple local breweries there as well. There was like a summer wheat beer from someone, I think from Alton, was there. But yeah, $5 beers. That is a thing. Number 3, David Cotton asking, do we pay MLS concession prices at City 2 games? No, they are discounted for City 2. Now, there aren't as many options open as there would be for a normal game. But like, for instance, Wally's is there. Wally's is on the south end. Go in, grab yourself a barbecue pulled pork or a brisket sandwich. $8. And it's good because it's Wally's. Definitely not bad. Billy is signing off. I don't blame him. Have a good night. I'm literally only staying up and even staying on for this because, one, I just don't believe in quitting. But number 2, as I see Marcanic is coming in. Yes, I saw that. I also want to hear from Aaron and Kane after the game. Maybe Kane can coax Chris Gebhardt to actually like being on here. Okay. Anyway, City 2 is fun. If you can make it out tomorrow, tickets are $16 with tax. It's a lot of fun. Jose will be in the lineup tomorrow. He plays for City 2 on a regular basis. Had a good chat with Jose Sunday at the futsal tournament, by the way. Kind of got some interesting insight into his recent plans. That's not going to get called. I'm not going to that's between me and him, but like just got some very interesting insight into Jose and where he fits in with City right now. Let's just put it that way. Mason knows. Harvey shot, save, rebound. You know what?
Save! Good bank! What a save!
That was a good save.
Good bank!
Only because we're not going to get another chance to play it, maybe. McSorley, I think they held him out in the Ventura County game as a precaution, but I think he's okay because he did get a half in the week before and he got a brace in that one. So yeah, we definitely need a healthy McSorley, but they held him out in the Ventura County game probably to ensure that he's healthy for this. But all right, we got to talk. JT says we need some help in the coaching department. I'm going to lay it out. John Hackworth, yay or nay? What do you guys think? Should Hackworth be back next year as our coach? Because my standing on Hackworth since he took over is give him the rest of the season and let's see where we are at the end of the season, where he has directed this team, where he has guided this team. Are we trending upwards? Are we trending upwards because of him? I want to know your thoughts. John Hackworth, should he be back as the gaffer in 2024? Dracula laying in saying nay. And his issue is tactics. Brad thinks we need an actual coach. Put Hack back where he was. JT thinks Hack is in our organization, but not a head coach. Bucket Hat is just absolving himself from this conversation altogether. Have a great night, Bucket Hat. Hopefully your son doesn't keep you up all night. Klaus with a shot just as we're talking here. Just goes a little wide. Be good, do good. Jerry Hayes, trust in Lutz on coach assignment. If he finds a better level, good. If not, if same, then keep Hack. Depends on the alternative. And then, yeah, Klaus going wide is not atypical of him. I've been beating the drum for Denny Cruz from Louisville City. I still am going to beat that drum. Louisville City is probably the odds-on favorite, maybe like an even odds favorite to win the USL Championship playoffs this year. They're number one seed by an absolute mile. All Denny Cruz has done, and yes, Brad agrees, is win. He wins. He is a winner, and it's beyond the fact that he wins. He's worked with Hackworth before at Louisville. Those two know each other. I think Hackworth, to the point earlier about Hack being in our organization but not head coach, and Brad making that point there as well. I think if you have Hackworth as a technical director and you bring in Denny Cruz as a head coach, I think that is a good partnership. I think that partnership would work. I think Denny Cruz is a guy that you look. Where I've said it before, I think on the Ramble or one of these watch alongs, and I'll say it again. Are we getting better? Yes. Should we be competing for the playoffs next year? Yes. Are we going to be competing for the Supporters Shield next year? No. Are we going to be competing for the MLS Next Cup next year? Probably not. We're probably a couple years away from that. Why not give a guy like Danny Cruz a chance instead of the same old, instead of, one of Lutz's friends in the second Bundesliga? Nothing against them. I'm just saying this organization and Denny Cruz, I think, are a good fit for each other. I think it just works both ways. That is my TED Talk. I want Denny Cruz. Jeremy's still on the fence on Hack. I think keep him as director and bring in someone new. Louisville City has 73 points this year. I'm going to give you some context on this. 73 points. It sounds like a lot. Because it is. I'm going to show you right now. Okay. This is USL Championship. Louisville City is in first place with 73 points. Second place is Nick Marcanic's Charleston Battery, 61 points. But then you're thinking, oh, wait, what about the West? Well, New Mexico United, 59 points. Louisville City has a 12-point cushion on the next best team in USL Championship last year. Louisville City, they were in fifth last year, but year in and year out, they are a very solid team. Like, they won the East the year before that, and they had the second best record, only behind San Antonio FC, which I think that was the year Sam Adeniran was with them. My point stands. Louisville City is good. I think Danny Cruz is a good coach. Plus 40 goal differential. Here we go in the box. And Leuven's there to bail us out. And a wipeout tackle. I think that's going to be not a card. You could argue that was a tactical foul, though, as we're in stoppage time. JT, get out of here with that. No, we're not doing Graham Potter. No. How dare you? How dare you? Well, Berkey has 3 minutes to score. I don't think it's going to happen. Actually, now it's like 1 minute. And there is the season. It's over. Raise your glasses high. Let's pour out our 40s. The 2024 season is dead. It's not coming back. Rest in peace. Okay, that's enough of that. That's actually a pretty bad version of Amazing Grace, honestly. I tried at the last minute. This season is dead. Long live the season. Drink up. The season is over. So.
That sucked, man. That sucked real bad.
They had hope there for a second. Like we actually got a goal for once. And, and then it just kind of, as I said, Sun Heung-min at home just kind of buried us in the second half there.
Yeah, man, that was...
Yeah.
That was Carnell-esque, where just the wheels just came off at the end.
As Ryan says, this was a match that happened. It happened. It is in the books, in the pocket, and out of sight.
I feel like we do have more to talk about now.
We do.
It's not good stuff.
Not very good stuff. Well, I mean, we can kind of take over the conversation that I was starting there at the end. First things first, Jerry, cheers all. We move on with the bad and the good. Heads up until 2025. Well, heads up until the end of the City 2 season. By the way, we still got that to play for. Yeah, Minnesota's been good without their problem child. That is right. But anyway, conversation we were having, John Hackworth, is he the guy? Is he just a technical director? Is he even in the organization next year? Where do we go with John Hackworth?
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly. I do think it would be funny to go from Louisville City guy to Louisville City guy.
True. But in the context that they would work together like they did before.
Yeah. If Hack would be willing to go back to technical director, I don't see why you would axe him. I guess the big question would be, how much did he really want the head coaching job? Yes. And it did kind of seem like he wanted it.
Jerry just made a good point. Apple is showing the Minnesota supporters singing their closing song. Have they ever had St. Lou on their broadcast? I mean, we haven't had a chance to sing St. Lou very much this year, but
yeah, I mean, I can't really say because I haven't really watched like the end of the broadcast. They didn't really last year, which is kind of why I started just turning it off right at the final whistle, pretty much. Yeah. But I mean, like, they basically didn't even show our tifos this year.
That's true. That is true. I guess we're not the new shiny toy anymore for MLS. I mean, really, once Messi came along, we stopped being the new shiny toy. FOTMOB XG, our final XG of the game was 0.6. So we improved by like 0.47, I believe that is. Almost a 0.5. But yeah. Overall, uninspired performance. That was mostly sloppy. Not sure this formation suits us. I've seen it work, and I've seen it not work. I've seen it not work more than it has, but then when it's worked really well.
Yeah, my thing is, I don't really think that this was a formation issue. This seemed more like, I hate to say effort, but like, just like guys were not on tonight. I was going to say looked wrong.
I was going to use the word motivation. They did not look motivated. And why would they? I see that, and that's the thing. Like, I can't be upset about this because it's just like, why should they care? I mean, unless you're playing for like a contract next year, like I can see Akil Watts going crazy tonight because I think he still has an option to be picked up. if Ben Loon tonight, maybe we didn't see Jake Nerwinski tonight. He's playing for a contract. Maybe that fate has been sealed. But like, yeah, I mean, unless you have a spot to play for next year,
why do you care about this? Yeah,
you just had this long 2-week break too, which is not good. Not good. Man. They need to make it so the playoffs start this weekend if they're going to do that.
Yeah.
It just does not work. No, I am not stalling to see if Kane or Aaron will join us here. Totally not.
I think I might have found what sank us so bad, aside from just guys not really caring about this game.
Yeah.
We end the match with 60% possession.
That is not.
That is unacceptable for us.
I mean, like I said at halftime, I mean, they basically pulled the equivalent of an NBA center being wide open for a 3-point shot, and the other team's like, "Go ahead, take your shot, go for it. You do you, bro. You do you." That was basically what Minnesota did to us tonight. It's like they knew we don't play well in possession. They're like, "Here you go. Here, have the possession."
Was it the Houston Rockets one year where like they were sinking threes all of the time, and then just like one game it just shut off and they couldn't get a single one?
I know I think it was the Rockets. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. But yeah, let's see here.
But yeah, I think the guys were on vacation already.
Yeah, not a formation issue. Wobbly bodies, not zoned in. Happy to catch the bus back home. That's true, and they might be able to take the bus because it's not, as we talked about earlier, not the worst drive.
They can take the Grimes River boat.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, it might still be impounded in Minneapolis. Who knows?
I mean, might have a problem with a couple of the dams on the river that have been built, since river travel was a thing. But I mean, seeing them like waterfalls.
Man, I don't know why I was thinking about this last night, but have you heard the story about how Grimes tried to go from Minneapolis to New Orleans on a riverboat full of chickens and then got basically arrested by the police?
You know what? This might be the most interesting thing tonight, Mason. So I want to hear this story. I really want to hear this story.
That's basically the story, is that she was trying to travel down the Mississippi on a riverboat. And then like the boat didn't work and like the cops were after her and she had like chickens on the boat for some reason. And eventually like the boat was impounded by the police department.
So basically Grand Theft Boat, basically.
Yeah, I think it was her boat. I think that they were like, you can't do this. We're taking the boat away.
I'm just imagining a half-working boat chugging up the Mississippi River and like the police stars in the corner are like 1, 2, 3, 4.
A deeply bizarre person.
Yeah, I would say so. And how recent was this?
This was in like 2014. This was like 10 years ago, maybe.
Okay, that's fair. But yeah. So one thing on Hackworth. Before the game, I would have probably said, bring him back. I mean, I think he showed me enough in the SKC and the Houston games to give me confidence. But now I'm kind of back to where I was, kind of ambivalent.
Yeah, that's kind of my thing. Like, I think gun to my head, I would still say like yay on Hackworth, but this did not help his case, and I think that this game and like the way that this season is finished, I think is going to turn a lot of the fan base anti Hackworth.
But I'm again, Danny Cruz right there, right with the point record, as they just clinched tonight, 73 points and counting. So I'm just saying that could be the guy. Question is if he would want to come here. I guess that's another question too. I mean, he might.
Yeah.
I would think he would jump up to MLS would be intriguing, but
yeah, maybe we should have gotten Hurlitzer when we got Hartle.
Yeah, totally. They could. Yeah, why couldn't they be a package?
Yeah, and also obviously he would want to come here rather than Brighton, right? Why would you want to go play? Why would you want to go coach in the Premier League?
Yeah, and why would you want to coach your team to what is currently, I believe, a Europa League spot?
Yeah,
because they just beat Newcastle today 1-0, as my Newcastle fan friend was griping about earlier. Oh man, That's fun. So I'm going to take a wild guess and say that Aaron and Kane are probably not going to join us. Not that they would have much to talk about anyway, because
I can't necessarily say I blame them.
I don't blame them either. In fact, I'm actually quite shocked that there's still 13 people watching this, honestly. Like, I mean, it's not that late, so I guess that's probably why. But like, yeah, I would not have blamed anyone for jumping off early tonight, honestly.
If I wasn't on here, I would have turned the game off after the own goal.
Like, I wasn't ready to say goodbye to St. Louis City before the stream, but like after it was 3-1, I was like, I'm ready now.
We can put it to bed. Yeah,
I'm good. Let's just put the final dirt on top of us. Let us rest in peace until we can rise again in 2025. So
yeah, at least the last home game was fun.
That's true. Oh well, the last 2 home games were fun. I mean,
but
those last 2 home games reminded me of why I love this club.
Yeah, and then like, you know, if you want to talk about like a send off to the season, I feel like that the Houston home match was more fitting.
Yeah,
this game was just there. It's on the schedule. We got to do it.
Yeah, this was an obligation, basically.
Inter Miami has 74 points.
74 points. Yeah, that's wild. I mean, they absolutely just slapped around New England tonight. Which, by the way, did Timmy Parker start tonight? I hope not.
I don't think so. I had a 360 on, so
yeah. Parker did not even play tonight, so
that'll help his plus minus.
Yeah, but I'm going to take a wild guess and say that Tim Parker probably does not come back to New England next year with how they kind of treated him. So
no, I don't think that him re-signing at New England was ever in the cards, quite frankly.
No. I wonder where he does end up, honestly.
Yeah, that's a good question, because he had a career year last year here, kind of, and then he was good here too. But then, like, it was like contract negotiations. But he is getting kind of old, and he's probably going to be looking to get paid. So I don't know.
I wonder if a team like San Diego like throws him a bag.
Yeah, maybe San Diego. I'm trying to think of like other like clubs with a lot of money and poor decision making skills, like maybe Toronto,
Chelsea, Como. I'm just trying because Parker seems to be like someone that's like, you know, would be good for like a club that has like a lot of younger defenders. You know, he can be that veteran leadership.
Good locker room guy, yeah.
Good locker room guy, yeah. I do hope it's to someone in the Eastern Conference, because I don't want to face him.
Yeah, having to play him would suck.
Because he would probably that's when he bags a hat trick.
Yeah, exactly. And then like I think that would like doubly suck, because I think that like he, you know, I don't really know fully what his relationship is with the club after this, but I don't think that he bears any ill will towards the fans here, and a lot of fans still love him. So for him to beat us up would actually, I think, suck for both parties.
Well, did you listen to him on, I think it was Sam's Army podcast right after he was traded up there?
Yeah, I did, and it sounded like it was not amicable.
This was a him versus the club situation versus, I mean, but he kept talking. I feel he was very honest in that interview about things, and like he was nothing but happy. He was very happy here. And we were happy to have him, but business is what it is, you know.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that like they couldn't come to terms, but like the way that he spoke about it, it sounds like the club was yanking him around a little bit. So
yeah, but I agree with Brad that last 2 home games were more important than this game by far. Kane is checking in from Minnesota, saying fake points out of the bitterness. Nice, just fake points. Aaron with a yikes. So I think that's all we're getting out of them tonight. I don't blame them for that.
That basically sums it all up, I feel like.
Yeah. So hopefully everyone that's still here in the chat, hopefully I see you at City 2 tomorrow. The Santos are going to have like a little bit of a pregame at the pitch. And then they're going to do the march from the pitch to the stadium, which is going to be a very short march if you know where the pitch is on the
I was going to say, it's like across the street, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's like for kids. So it's like they don't want kids to like walk around the stadium, which makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a very fun game tomorrow. I hope they make a deep run. I think they got a very good chance to do so. And as far as this season goes, it's over. And it is interesting that like the only pressing question we have is coaching right now, because like I feel like we've got most of the pieces in place now.
Yeah,
it's just a question of who leads those pieces.
Yeah, I'm hoping somebody that is decent coaching defenders, because our back line, like we've seen our defense play really well, and we looked bad tonight.
Well, the first one, Nilsson looked like he was like 45 years old out there with his foot speed. And I think we've talked about that a few times before with Nilsson. Like he's generally very good at like knowing where to be, but
he's quick too. Like he's quick, but he's not fast. His top speed is he's like one of the like big characters in Mario Kart. He has a low top speed but a high acceleration.
yes. And in a transition like that, he's unfortunately, if you don't have cover back there, he's just going to get cooked.
Yeah,
he's just going to get cooked. I still want him back next year, though. I think that partnership with Kessler still has potential. That's pretty much all I got. So I'm going to wind this down, and I'm going to figure out. We need to figure out how to get back together, either digitally or in person in the off season, because it's going to be a long time. And no, I'm not going to like cover St. Louis Ambush on this channel. No offense to the Ambush, no offense to their fans. I went to a couple of their games last year, and it was very, No, but it's fine. But I'll figure out something. Maybe I cover more Donnie games. Maybe this becomes a Doncaster Rovers channel for a few months. I don't know. I really don't know what to do with myself. But we'll
taking a vacation to Doncaster for the off season.
You know, it's not going to happen. But like I was thinking of going there like around New Year's, but airplane travel across the Atlantic is not the cheapest.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't figure.
And around the holidays, it's especially not cheap. So. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe some watch-alongs during the playoffs. Jeremy asking about that. There is a chance that, depending on where the USL Championship final is, I might be able to go and cover that for the channel. If it like if it's Louisville, which I think it's a very strong possibility, I can definitely go out and do that.
Yeah, Louisville's like a day trip.
It's a day
trip.
Really
not that far.
It's very simple. Me and Jake Henry went there together, so. Oh, and then Jeremy pointing out there's a lot of Prem talk in the Discord, so maybe we have a morning at the Amsterdam Tavern. Maybe that wouldn't be a bad idea. I'm actually going to be at the Amsterdam Tavern tomorrow morning. Liverpool and Chelsea at 10:30. I figured that'd be a good way to get into City 2, because City 2 plays at 2:00. So go to the Dam, go to City 2. Sounds like a good soccer day. Aaron suggesting a road trip to the MLS Cup final. Again, depending on where these games are, because again, logistics is an issue. Maybe something like that.
Yeah, have fun driving all the way to Miami.
No, that's not going to happen. No, I refuse. I refuse. If it's Columbus, though, you can do Columbus.
Yeah, Columbus is not that far.
Columbus is doable.
It's a long day, but you can do Columbus in a day.
But you know where I won't be going? Kansas.
Oh, God, absolutely.
Because they're not in the playoffs. They're looking up at us in the standings.
Yeah, we got ourselves into a position where like, well, we can. Our only options are to finish bad, but like if we had beaten Minnesota, we could have jumped up to like 11th or something. Like
could have, but you know what? It's enough that we beat Kansas in the standings. So you know what? I'm going to take
pretty handily too by like 6 points, or beat them like 7 points.
Let me look at the table. We've got 37 points. They've got 31. So we beat them by 6 points.
Yeah.
And our goal difference is better too. We're a -13. They're a -15. So
God, that's ugly.
Yeah. And they are.
Oh my God. San Jose has a -37.
Yeah. And they are, I'll just say they're a Chicago and San Jose away from the wooden spoon.
Yeah.
So
woof.
Woof, woof, woof. Alrighty. Well, I'm going to sign off. This was the final Soccer Zombie watch along for 2024. There will be more in 2025. These have become a major highlight of my week, really, because it's just fun to hang out with you guys. I'm honestly surprised how much I do enjoy these, but I really do. And I'm glad you guys enjoy them as well, because you guys show up every time.
It's fun even when the game sucks.
Yeah. Tonight felt like a struggle, though. Like I'll admit that, like
it was less fun.
my entertainment value is probably very low on this.
I think we were all it was the last hour of work, and we're just waiting to clock out, right?
Yeah, exactly. This game was an obligation for me a little bit as well, but I also wanted to hang out with you guys, a little bit more. So I'll see some of you.
It has been fun being a guest as well. So thank you, Tom, for having me.
Seriously, I really appreciate having you guys on, having Sean on when he can pop on as well. You need to get Mike in on one of these.
Well, he is dead asleep, I imagine, by this point.
That's true. So we may need to make it like
we need more afternoon starts to get Mike on a watch along.
Like on the one Sunday afternoon game we get every year, maybe that'll be the one that he comes on for. But Ryan made a good point. It felt like the last hour of class on a Friday, basically. Yeah. That's what it is. So I'm going to get some rest, but you guys have a good night. We'll see you again next season. I'll think of something to do on my channel in the next few months. Join the Discord. I dropped the link in the chat earlier if you want to continue the conversation there. I'm on Blue Sky now, TomFranklin.bsky, whatever. I'm on there. Just look for Soccer Zombie. I'm on there. And like I said, earlier, I'm not going to delete my Twitter, but I might start transitioning myself away from Twitter in the next month or so. So you guys, since you guys watched along, you guys are privy to that. So anyway, Ryan's saying I should do a Liverpool watch along. I could maybe do that. But there's others that do so much better than me, though. Like that's covered. No one's doing Doncaster Rovers watch alongs, though.
You can horn in on that business.
Yeah, the only problem is I cannot find a good stream for Doncaster Rovers. Like they don't exist. I mean, unless I paid money for one that's good, and I don't want to. So nothing against Donnie. Anyway, have a good night, everyone.
Adios, folks.